11:23 in the morning, clear skies over eastern Ukraine. A Russian military convoy races toward safety just 35 minutes away. 23 vehicles stretched across nearly 4 kilometers of exposed highway, loaded with ammunition, fuel, and reinforcements that could shift the balance of fighting for weeks. The convoy moves with confidence. Two advanced Pantsir air defense systems bracket the column, their radar dishes spinning, scanning for threats. What the Russian convoy commander doesn't know is that Ukrainian intelligence has been watching for the past 3 hours. They know the route, they know the speed, they know exactly which air defense systems are protecting it, and one Ukrainian pilot is already airborne, throttle forward, flying toward an intercept that will require him to survive what most would consider a suicide mission. The convoy had reason to feel secure. Highway M3 stretched before them, and the mathematics seemed favorable. 35 more minutes to reach Russian-controlled territory where Ukrainian strike options would evaporate. The column carried ammunition carriers stacked with artillery shells, fuel trucks with thousands of liters of diesel, infantry fighting vehicles packed with troops, and command vehicles coordinating movement. If these supplies arrived intact, Russian frontline units would be resupplied for sustained operations, but the crown jewel of their security was the 2 Pantsir air defense systems, mobile platforms mounting both radar-guided surface-to-air missiles and rapid-fire cannons capable of shredding aircraft. On paper, 2 Pantsir systems should have made attacking this convoy nearly impossible. What Russian commanders consistently underestimate is something that can't be measured in radar range or missile speed: the accumulated intelligence and tactical adaptation of an enemy that's been studying you for over 2 years. Ukrainian reconnaissance had picked up the convoy long before it reached Highway M3. Intelligence units intercepted Russian communications early that morning, revealing departure times, routes, and destination. While the convoy advanced confidently, a Ukrainian Su-25 pilot was receiving his mission briefing. The briefing was brutally direct: 23 vehicles, 4 kilometers of open highway, 2 active Pantsir systems, broad daylight, clear skies. The convoy would reach safety in 35 minutes. The mission objective: destroy the convoy before it reaches cover. Ukrainian pilots have accumulated something Russian air defense crews haven't: hundreds of hours of actual combat experience fighting against these exact systems. Through repeated engagements, they've mapped out reaction times, identified blind spots, and recognized moments of vulnerability. They've learned that technology alone doesn't guarantee success. The Su-25 was loaded with laser-guided missiles for the air defense systems and Adian-guided rockets for the convoy itself. The attack plan was aggressive: approach at extreme low altitude to remain invisible to radar, climb rapidly at the last moment to acquire targets, neutralize both Pantsir systems first, then proceed with rocket attacks. The pilot had flown 89 combat missions before this one. His aircraft had taken damage on previous sorties and kept flying, but this mission was different. No darkness to hide in, no cloud cover, no supporting aircraft. One jet against an entire convoy protected by modern air defense systems designed specifically to kill aircraft like his. The Su-25 descended to extreme low altitude immediately after takeoff 150 meters above ground. At 700 kilometers per hour, a single misjudgment would result in immediate collision with terrain. The pilot relied on muscle memory and continuous guidance from Ukrainian ground controllers. At 8 kilometers from the convoy, the pilot initiated the attack phase, climbing aggressively from 150 meters to 1,000 meters in seconds. The climb exposed the aircraft to every Russian radar system in the area. He had approximately 10 seconds before enemy systems could achieve target lock. Through the targeting pod, the convoy became clearly visible. The targeting computer locked on to the first Pantsir at 11 kilometers. The pilot launched the first laser-guided missile, immediately shifted to the second Pantsir, and launched again. Both missiles streaked toward their targets. Flight time, 18 seconds. Both Pantsir systems detected the incoming threats and engaged with everything they had: interceptor missiles and dense walls of exploding shells. The pilot deployed countermeasures immediately. Clouds of aluminum chaff created massive false radar signatures. The Pantsir interceptors locked on to the chaff and detonated harmlessly away from the jet. But the Ukrainian laser-guided missiles didn't rely on radar. The first missile struck the Pantsir's radar array directly. 90 kilograms of high explosive detonated on impact, shattering the system instantly. The second missile slammed into the other Pantsir's chassis, and it ceased functioning entirely. Both air defense systems were neutralized in under 20 seconds. With the convoy now defenseless, the pilot climbed to 1,800 meters and initiated the rocket attack run. He fired all 80 rockets in a controlled pattern across the 4-kilometer stretch. A fuel truck erupted into a massive fireball. An ammunition carrier detonated with enough force to shatter windows 5 kilometers away. Infantry fighting vehicles flipped from explosions. The highway transformed into a corridor of fire and twisted metal. The pilot descended rapidly, deploying continuous countermeasures. A Tor missile system 22 kilometers away fired missiles traveling at Mach 8. The pilot executed a high-G dive, weaving through valleys. One missile locked onto a flare and self-destructed. Another passed within 100 meters before detonating. Shrapnel struck the Su-25E's tail. Warning lights illuminated. Hydraulic pressure dropped. The aircraft shuddered violently but remained controllable. 15 minutes after the attack began, the Su-25 crossed back into Ukrainian airspace. Of the 23 vehicles, 9 were completely destroyed, 8 were damaged and immobilized, 6 were abandoned but trapped. The convoy's mission failed completely. Critical supplies never arrived. Russian units went another week without ammunition and reinforcements. The Su-25 landed with 17 shrapnel holes in the tail. Ground crews repaired the aircraft within 2 days. The pilot flew his next combat mission 48 hours later. This operation illustrates modern warfare's brutal reality. Ukrainian Su-25s are Soviet-era aircraft that, on paper, should not survive against modern air defense systems. Yet they succeed through training, intelligence integration, mission planning, and calculated risk-taking. Superior technology doesn't guarantee success. The force that adapts faster and exploits weaknesses gains the advantage. The convoy believed it was safe in broad daylight under air defense coverage. It was catastrophically wrong.